There is a big time change coming to Denver sports, and people are not going to like it. Guys, on the horizon, Denver sports fans and particularly season ticket holders for the Denver Broncos are going to have to deal with something that they've never had to before. All right. Earlier this week, the announcement came out that the Denver Broncos have picked a site for their new stadium. It's going to be at Burnham Yard. All right. We did a video earlier in the week itemizing all the details that you need to know about that announcement. I encourage you to go check that out. But there was something omitted in that announcement that is going to be very, very relevant to Broncos country. I'm going to tell you what it is in 10 seconds. Guys, thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. We just started doing videos 10 days ago on a regular basis. We've surpassed 500 subscribers. Again, you guys are the base of this channel, the foundation of this channel. Feel free to leave a comment. I would love to interact with you there. Set an alert so you never miss a video. And tell a friend. Try to spread awareness of this channel, Denver Day to Day. All right, so omitted from the announcement earlier this week is, the taxpayer's not going to have to pay for the stadium. That's good news. They are not going to ask, hey, 20 cents out of, everyone's check in the entire, state of Colorado. It's going to help fund this. And that does happen. There's a new stadium opening in 2026 in Buffalo where the owner said, I'll pay for $2.5 billion, but I need the state of New York to pay for another $2.5 billion. That would have been a bad look for this ownership group, okay? And they're not going to do that. And that's good, all right, to not charge everyone. But the people who go to the games the most may have to pay the most. And I'm talking about an idea that has never been introduced to Denver sports, and that is a personal seat license, okay? It's coming. I'm telling you it's coming. They did not announce it, but I talked about this on my radio show, The Drive, from 2 to 6 p.m. on 104.3 The Fan here in Denver. Sometimes I just can't explain how information makes its way to me. I remember a couple of years ago, I told my audience, guys, regret to inform you, but Jerry Judy's sitting in a jail cell right now at Arapahoe County Correctional Facility, or Bradley Chubb has been arrested. It's like, wait, how the heck did you get that? I can't explain it. I have relationships all over town. And I heard about a month ago from a incredible source that the Broncos ownership group was going to go down this road. Okay. And I couldn't even explain how that piece of information got to me, but it came from a person where I just said, wow, very interesting. And then you go back and look at the survey that the new ownership group sent out to their season ticket holders a few years ago. A lot of the questions pertain to a personal seat license. Guys, a personal seat license, or a PSL, is basically what it is a rights fee to your seat in the stadium. But you're not paying to watch the games. You are paying for the rights to your seat, and once you do that, you then have the right to pay for your season tickets, okay? So this is a one-time fee, all right? You can, from what I understand, in a lot of these markets, finance it through the course of a few payments. But this is going to be a big-time change, okay? And the rate or the price tag on your seat is dependent on how good your seat is. So if your seats are at the very top of Mile High currently, and you sit in the 500 level, and you want to have season tickets at the new stadium, you're probably going to have to pay somewhere around, I'm just going to spitball and speculate, somewhere around $1,000, all right, from the rights to your seat. Now, if you have two seats, that's going to be $2,000, in addition to the cost of your season tickets. The better your seat is, the price tags on these personal seat license, if you look around sports, they can be $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for the rights to one seat. So if you're sitting at Mile High and you have season tickets that have been passed down in your family, and you kind of move up a little bit every year, and you sit in the 15th row on the 45-yard line, the PSL cost, the personal seat license cost, could be $15,000. I don't know, 10, 20, something. But then if you have two seats, if it's $10,000, you're going to have to pay $20,000 in addition to the season ticket cost. So for a lot of people, this is going to price out a lot of average, hardworking, middle-class, blue-collar people. Even folks that have had tickets in their family for decades and have been passed down from grandfathers and fathers, there's going to be some hard decisions that have to be made. And unfortunately, for a lot of families, and I anticipate it will be in the thousands of people that will say, you want to know what? We just can't do this anymore. We're not going to sell the car or refinance the house or not send little Johnny to the college he wants to. We're going to stay in state so we can keep these Broncos tickets. It's going to push and price out a lot of people. The little guy, that's going to be the guy oftentimes in this next sequence over the coming years that is going to have to make a really hard decision. And I know for a lot of people, it's going to be, no, we can't do this anymore. And I anticipate it's probably going to be a wealthier crowd, okay? A wine and cheese crowd. I anticipate a lot of these seats that get vacated by fans will go to corporations and businesses, all right, who can afford it where the average person cannot. PSLs, if you look around sports, they're not super prominent in a place like the NBA. Only 4 teams in the NBA, the Hornets, the Warriors, the Raptors, and the Jazz, have personal seat license. In Major League Baseball, the D-backs, the Twins, the Padres, the Giants, and the St. Louis Cardinals, 5 teams have personal seat license. The NHL, just 2, the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Toronto Maple Leafs, just 2 have personal seat license. But this is now the number of teams in the NFL who have personal seat license. The Falcons, the Ravens, the Bills starting next year, the Panthers, the Bears, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns, the Green Bay Packers, the Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Texans, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Los Angeles Rams, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Minnesota Vikings, the New York Giants, the New York Jets, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the San Francisco 49ers, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Tennessee Titans. Quite a list, isn't it? These owners are, I'm not going to say taking advantage because it has become, for better or worse, industry standard. And for a lot of people, it's the worst, all right, for worse. When they are building new stadiums in the NFL in particular, fans are helping pay for it. So it's great and it's good news, truly, that this ownership group is not going to ask the taxpayers to contribute for people who don't go to the games, but the people who go to the games the most, you're going to pay the most. All right? And this is just the way of 2025. This is the way of the current landscape in the NFL more than any other league. And it's going to have impact and it's going to have ripple effect. And this is just the reality of the situation. And this is not going to come for a couple years. So if you're a season ticket holder, this needs to be on your radar, and you need to plan accordingly. And if that means saving a little bit, every month, for the coming years, you have about 5-6 years to prepare for this, but you should, in fact, prepare for it if you are one of these season ticket holders. Guys, thank you so much again for being here. Guys, tell a friend about this podcast. All right, we are building this thing. We've gained 50 subscribers in the last 2 days. So excited, having so much fun doing these videos. Set an alert so you never miss a video. Leave a comment. Would love to chat with you there. Make sure you're subscribed, and thank you for being here. You'll hear more from me tomorrow.